Hello, it's Doris with Aldi Books, and I am determined to do Friday reads this month. So I have some hope of remembering what I'm talking about, especially with attempting to do 30 books in 30 days. So I'm at 7 books for July, and it's the 10th, so not too far off track really, because I've got several in the works, so fingers crossed. But anyway, the books I have read thus far have been really fabulous. So I completed the One Crazy Summer by Rita Williams Garcia trilogy. So I actually had read this one a year or more ago and absolutely loved it, but wanted to share the trilogy here. These are about 3 sisters being raised by their father. In the first one, they live in New York City, but they fly to the West Coast to visit their mother, whom they haven't seen for years. I think the oldest girl is 10 in this one, and I don't think that they've seen their mother since she was 4. So they get into some interesting adventures with the Black Panther movement and their summer camp program. And it's just very enlightening, and these girls are so engaging. The thing I like the most, one thing I like, I should say, about these is that they're not cleaned up for middle grade. So these are middle grade novels, and everything isn't perfect. Like, they're very nuanced and very real to the time and place, and real people. So yeah, these are set in the late 60s. This second one is actually in New York City, and she covers a lot of ground. One really cool thing is their teacher, the oldest girl is in the 6th grade in this one, and their teacher is in an exchange program, and he is from Africa, Zambia. He's from Zambia. Yeah, lots of neat things happen in this one. And then well, actually, another thing I wanted to mention, Vietnam, and the uncle comes back from Vietnam and struggles with PTSD, and then subsequent drug addiction with that one. And he ends up going back to Alabama, and so the grandmother follows. And so this one, the girls have gone to visit the grandmother in Alabama with the great-grandmother, and there's the Klan riding in the night and tornadoes, and they come through. So they're just such spirited girls, and I don't know, I highly recommend those if you're interested. They're a set of middle grade books that I think really translate to the adult reader, in my opinion, but you know, I like middle grade usually. I have then finished Svetlana Alexievich, The Unwomanly Face of War, An Oral History of Women in World War II. So this is translated by Richard Peviar and Larissa Volokovsky. But yes, these are Soviet women who were on the front lines in World War II, actual, nurses and doctors, and workers, yes, but also snipers and, actual fighting in the war. So it's a very, very unique perspective, and very humanistic. Svetlana Alexievich really focuses on how individual people cope with and react to this wartime environment, and it's very stark and brutal at times, obviously, but Svetlana Alexievich is just the master of oral history. So anyway, I read this one for social studies for my summer school readathon, and this one was my exploratory. So I went with the recess theme there. And then I also have covered science. So I read Radioactive, Marie and Pierre Curie, A Tale of Love and Fallout by Lauren Redness. This was excellent. Unlike anything that I had ever read before, it's not exactly a graphic novel. It's more a story with accompanying art, or perhaps a picture book for adults. But she just looks at Marie Curie's life and intersperses it with others who fit into that timeline and things that were going on then. Her art style that she's used in places really fits in with the radioactive theme. And I just highly recommend this. I thought it was just a brilliant format. So artistically told, not just with the artwork, but the words and the way she, portrayed this life. Really excellent thing she put together there. And then I have just finished Heavy, an American Memoir by Kiese Lehman. This is really hard-hitting, unsettling. Just the things that he went through, the environment that he was put in, and how he came through that and is still coming through that. The parts at the end were just really heartbreaking, when he was an adult, and how your childhood affects you for the rest of your life, and how much you love your family, because of and despite everything. A window into what it's like to be a big Black man in America, and the interactions with others, especially women and feminism. It's just a lot to ponder in this book, and my thoughts are still working around. But brilliant writer. I listened to this on audio, and he read it himself. It was just really excellent. And I think this one was for, I don't know if this one fit a category. Oh yeah, it did. Yeah, math. This was math. That was a mathematical term for me. So I am currently working on English language arts. So for that one, I picked up, when I was a child, I read books by Marilyn Robinson. I've really been looking forward to this because I have read the first 3 in the Gilead series. The 4th one, Jack, is coming out this fall, I think. Super excited. So this is my first nonfiction from Marilyn Robinson, and I really did not know what this was going to be about. I think I made some assumptions based on the title, and it is not that. I've only read the prologue, but she's a really deep thinker. It's very high level thinking as well. But this is, I think what this is going to be is the intersection, the junction of faith and religion and politics, which I am here for. I like reading on that. So there's that for English. And then I'm still in the middle of a couple buddy reads. The Empire of Gold by S.A. Chakraborty. This is a YA fantasy, bordering on adult, uh, based in the Middle East, so Egypt, and then this fantasy kingdom. And it is so excellent, really excellent. She's doing such a fabulous job of making the characters have depth, like such depth. Um, there are no good guys and bad guys, really. So that is refreshing and exciting. I am reading Trace, Memory, History, Race in the American Landscape by Laurette Savoy. She is a geologist, university professor, and this is another intersectional book with the scientist and being a scientist, and being Black in America. So really enjoying that. A lot to think about there. And then when I finish some of these, I have 2 more prompts to complete with my summer school readathon. So for those, for Common Core, pairing fiction and nonfiction, I'm gonna go with Tracy Chevalier's Remarkable Creatures. This is about an amateur paleontologist. And then The Dinosaur Artist, Obsession, Science, and the Global Quest for Fossils by Paige Williams. So I think those will pair nicely. And for research, I'm going to go with Our Women on the Ground, Essays by Arab Women Reporting from the Arab World, with a foreword by Christiana Amanpour, who I really respect, and edited by Zara Hankir. So yeah, I've heard great things about this, especially from Kendra Winchester, and really, really think this will be interesting and a lot to think about as well. So that's my Friday. I need to get back to reading if I can catch up on my 30 in 30. Hope you're having a great weekend, a start to a great weekend soon anyway. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back soon. Bye.